So we have a quorum?
Yeah, quorum.
Okay. Good, well, welcome everybody. I see the first thing on the agenda is chairman's remarks. I'm applauding Mr. Leckery and say a few things. I don't really have anything to say about that. I have one suggestion for the committee, and that is that that we try to get together maybe socially once a month, just go to the pub. Because I think a lot of sort of informal talk and discussion and getting to know each other would be helpful as well, to fill in the gaps between things. So we can put a date in the diary and just I can send out an email, and if you feel like coming, you can show up and we'll do it. If not, yeah,
Sounds good.
that's fine. But I think it would be good to get the cohesion of the group working again, after we've had a lot of changes recently. So
Might I suggest perhaps we do it at one of the different restaurants each time, so that we
Spread
our
out.
wealth and
Sure.
experience the different
That sounds-
restaurants on the
that sounds
island.
great.
And
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Sounds great.
Okay. Good. Well, I'll arrange that.
I'm glad I put that chair's remarks in there.
Yeah. Okay. So approval of the agenda.
One question, are we talking about, and I see here, but the appointments or nominations, or because, just in
Is
terms
that
of update on what's going on?
do we have that on the agenda?
You asked them to remove it.
No. Right. Well, I think we have two applicants right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I thought you
Just
meant
sort
the
of-
elections. You said nominations. Oh.
Sorry, or.
We have received 2 applications for 3 seats.
Okay.
There are 2 people that I could pursue to.
I don't think Vaughn's husband is interested.
I know another person who.
Okay, so we're at that time now. The deadline's passed. So I'm not bringing a report to council.
Okay.
I'm confident we can fill that seat, so I'm not going to bring the report regarding appointing the other 2 until I hear from my third, unless you ask me otherwise, but
Can I just check the numbers again? So we lost Chris.
Chris, Glenn, and Shanna we've lost. So those are the 3
Are you,
spots.
Jacqueline, are you staying on?
I believe my appointment's for 1 more year, until the end of next year.
And you're happy to stay on for this
Yeah.
topic too? Thank you.
She's not going, stop bringing it up. It's not happening.
Okay.
close that door.
There was somebody who wanted to
Asking
come in,
that.
Yeah.
Good.
So 3 spots. So we're losing Chris, Glenn, and Shanna.
Okay. So, well, first of all, I think we should pass a resolution. Is it a resolution to say thank you to all 3 of them for their efforts on the committee, and to wish them all the best, and we appreciate their volunteering.
Okay.
Especially Chris as co-chair, I think has made a tremendous
Absolutely.
contribution, and
Well, maybe we can have the first drink at the
Yeah, let's
pub.
invite them to our first
Anyway.
social for sure.
Okay, sure.
Or invite them to all of our
Yeah.
socials, but we'll honor them at our first social. How's that?
Yeah, good idea. Well, that's, no, we're honoring.
We'll
them.
buy them a
We'd like
drink.
them to join us if they could.
Okay,
We'll be honoring them regardless.
Okay.
cool, good. So I've met with Vaughan, who's,
Don't know that we should be talking on the camera about people.
okay,
Sorry.
yeah,
Okay.
all right.
So just, I was just more asking about process, really.
So process, it's
we have
imminent.
We have 2 people that
Yeah.
have applied,
Yeah.
and so is there, as you say, you're going to write a report which will be submitted to council, and then council makes a selection with some influence from the
Yeah.
town or
Yes.
input?
Yeah. So that process has been confirmed that it's council's decision to make these appointments. It's not the committee's decision. It's kind of a challenging balance because you're the ones who are working together, but we have made it operational now that we'll be sending the applications to the chairs of the committees. So the chairs will be, thanks to John's persistence, he will open the door for everybody. And so at that, I feel really happy about that.
Good.
Yeah, and I hope you do too.
Yeah, not that there's going to be much choice if there's 3 applicants for 3 places.
Well, and I
It
think
does help to get
yeah,
to know.
in the past that we've left seats
They're
open
good
as well.
applicants.
We have left seats open.
Yes,
Not those seats.
Absolutely, that's,
Right,
council's right.
right. So I know the deadline is passed, but if there is still somebody who's interested, they can and should still apply.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I would encourage everybody, if they know somebody, to
And it's, yeah, if there's somebody you know, I mean, that's also, there's a social element as well. Cold Bay Water is great. We've got a real group of science geeks there who just love hanging out together, so. Friends and friends.
Yeah, more fun too.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I would like to get something in on Monday for council, if that, do you think that would be possible?
it's going to, not going to be possible for me to see everybody before then. So maybe, can we do it the following week?
Okay, so that's gonna be then, so February 26th, what's the next? That would be the March council meeting. So then we
Oh, I
wouldn't
see.
have an appointment till,
So to get it in for this month, it has to go by Monday?
yeah.
Okay.
I think you can still do your
Right, yeah.
coffees if you want
Okay.
to,
When's the meeting?
so you can, the meeting's on February 26th, and you're welcome to attend the
Okay.
closed section.
So the closed is scheduled for noon on the 26th.
What's that?
The closed meeting is scheduled for noon on the 26th.
Okay.
And so are we happy to wait until we get new appointees before we fill, because we have the co or vice chair position to fill? Is that what you're thinking?
I'll let John speak to that.
Yeah.
I'm really open on that. What, does anybody volunteer to be coach, vice chair?
Because
So-
that's the only other official position that we need to fill, is it?
Yeah.
I think chair sounds really good for you.
I said I would, I didn't really, I know people always said it, but I didn't want to be chair on my own because, I enjoyed being chair with Chris, but I'm happy to carry on for the remainder of my term. I think it's up next February.
There is, on other committees, I have the vice chair doing the minutes approval. I have the vice chair, I'm working the vice chairs harder because the chairs get a little seat. So if somebody was wanting to step forward for vice chair,
If we're going to have
you
the
can still have that
if we're
title.
going to have the next meeting by, it's going to be, we're going to have the new applicants by then, maybe we should wait for one more meeting.
Okay.
Right, because
Sounds
there
good.
may be somebody who.
Mhm. Yeah, there's totally, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay. All right, so should we approve the agenda? Or should we just talk pre-agenda the whole way?
Chair's remarks.
Yeah.
The only thing I wanted to add, and I don't know where the appropriate place to be, is if we could just kind of have a follow-up item on business emergency preparedness and business continuity, just somewhere, I don't know. if
So
that's-
do you want that to be like a standing update?
I don't know if
Where
that's
that's-
appropriate, but anyways, if we could add it somewhere and discuss it, maybe it's part of one of the subcommittees.
Sure.
Business, if it's business retention expansion,
Okay.
or,
Let's do that. Are you on that subcommittee?
I think technically, but I don't believe we've met since
Okay.
I've been on.
That's great, then we'll have a report from the BRE.
Okay.
So that's item 7.1. You know what, it's just, we'll include that in the BRE report.
Okay, then we'd like to propose approval of the agenda.
I will.
Second, Rod. Adoption of the minutes.
Oh, hi.
Now it's
Oh,
over.
no.
Stay there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're at the end.
Just anymore.
Maybe there's some seats at the back there. You can-
Yeah, I'll sit, that's fine.
Wow, thank you for making the effort to get.
Yeah.
Sounds bad. We just adoption of the minutes. So anybody got any comments on the minutes?
approve.
Yeah, Maureen? Any second? Yeah, Barry? Okay, minutes are agreed. Public comments, is there any public comments at this stage? And scheduling meetings, so, yeah.
So, as requested by the community, I did a doodle poll offering choices for different times, and surprise, surprise, I think you're the only one who doesn't love this time, but you're here all the time, so we're gonna make it,
I was
looks
thinking
like
of
we're gonna
everybody
make it
else. I
work.
was thinking that Fridays, long weekends, you want to go away.
So with long
But,
weekends in mind, then it looks like,
We'll deal with Friday, yeah.
yeah. I think that, so second Friday of the month at 9:30 a.m. is the consensus, we'll go with that. And March, John, you wanted to change to the 16th?
Well, I have an issue that day, but,
The speaker that we were looking up later can't come on the 9th, but can come on the 16th, so it works for him.
I'm okay with 16th, is anybody okay with 16th?
Anybody okay with March 16th instead of the 9th?
I'm okay with it as long as we end on time.
Okay,
Yeah, can't go over.
okay.
Yeah, well, that's my intention with all these meetings, is to finish definitely by, 2-hour meeting is long.
Okay, so March 16th, and then on November, I think that Friday is actually not a stat, but it precedes a stat. So would you like to change that from the 9th to the 16th? Oh, it's the same numbers. We should do it.
So what's that?
On November 9th meeting is the Friday before the staff holiday.
Yeah,
So would you like to change that to November 16th?
I have no idea. Yeah, that's fine.
Should we just go with that?
November 16th.
And I'll include this in the resolution so you can remember it. So, that the Economic Development Committee meet on the second Friday of the month at 9:30 a.m. in 2018, excluding August,
Yep.
with and March and November 16th.
Yeah, I mean, it's something,
It's just to put in the calendar,
Yeah,
just so it's
yeah.
clear that everyone's comfortable
Yeah.
with that. Mover?
All of it.
All in favor?
yeah, 13th, I have a problem too. Is there we object to changing the stats to the second week or anything?
May 3rd,
April 14th, April 13th,
April
so that would be April 20th instead.
That's okay for me.
Okay, okay, thanks, Kyle.
Anybody objection? Okay. So I'll just write a list of the dates then.
Yeah.
Can you
Okay.
send out calendar invites as well?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, that'll be great. Thanks for doing this stuff. Okay, action items from the January meeting. So the first one is relating to meetings, so we've done that. Discuss committee input to council appointments decisions with Councillor Nicholson, we've done that. Next meeting, decide on 2018 schedule, right, we're really going ahead here, cracking on. Draft a report and resolution to discuss with Daniel Martin, put on next. That relates to the food trucks, that's going to be on later on. You're going to get to that.
Ooh, regrettably done.
Wordsmith the draft work plan to reflect the meeting's discussions. I think we have the work plan that's coming up too. Full Silas White, that was about a speaker series which you've been working on, Steph.
Right, so Michelle and I, yeah, Michelle's been sick, so we'll do Silas White next one.
Okay. Check terms of reference to confirm budget and work plan submission requirements.
Check, done, we'll talk about it later.
Okay, apply, discuss changes to summit agenda and send to Chris, that's all fine. get some budget reflected in agenda package and a public record.
Done.
Include rural dividend exemption application strategy in 2018 work plan.
Is it there?
Jackie, is that
So,
not done?
what was
Number 10.
include rural dividend exemption application strategy in 2018. Yeah, I saw that just as the agenda came out and I failed to do that, so we're
Okay.
gonna add that in today.
It's really terrible, that
Yeah, ongoing.
I like that ongoing.
Love it.
one.
Pending.
Meet with Tourism Board and Island Board. Yes, I'll talk about that in a bit. Draft the annual report for review by the committee, staff, you've done that.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
That is the best
That's
list
pretty
we've ever had. Look at the meetings, they're over.
Well done, everyone, well done. Good. Business arising from the minutes, the draft work plan.
John, I think that, so I included the year's actions, and Maureen and I are thinking it might be an idea to go through them just to see if there's anything that we wanted to carry forward.
Oh, really? Okay.
Work plan. I don't know if that would take a long time, or
Sounds good.
is it,
Uh,
I think we had an email exchange about this.
we do?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you want to go back to January last year and see if we did all those things? Or
And so what's the purpose? We're just going
Yeah.
through to see if
Is
there's
there anything
any
you want to carry over to 2018?
right,
in-
outstanding things that we didn't get done that
Or
we
stuff
think
you want to ditch? Or stuff you want to carry on?
I think that would take a long time. Is there anything that you want to highlight, Maureen? Or?
Sorry. Not in particular. I wonder maybe then if at our next meeting we could, maybe it's a matter of somebody going through beforehand and just checking off what has been done, and then the remaining items being looked at by the committee. Because some of these are kind of housekeeping things that just,
Yeah.
they take up too much time, you
Yeah.
know, at the table right now. But just a sense of what hasn't
Okay.
been done and what should be done. And the should be is a committee discussion.
Okay, so will we do that?
Are you able to do that?
Okay. Well, I won't decide what should be done, I'll just take out what has been done,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
and
then
you guys can,
the should is
Yeah,
this
Agreed.
discussion.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, because I don't think we have been as systematic about going through our action lists in this past year.
Hmm. Okay. Draft work plan for next year. Okay.
Right, so it hasn't changed considerably from the last time we looked at it, and tried to capture the language that was suggested. And that was more about engaging local businesses and organizations. And I failed to add in the point about applying for a rural dividend grant. So we need to add that in as well.
I wouldn't, and
Oh.
there's an item later on the agenda, but I wouldn't add it into the work plan at this point.
oh, so we could get a tick for
So
that.
I knew that, and that's why I
There you go.
hesitated to go ahead.
Ticking
Same
it
thing.
off.
So, yeah, so it's completely up for discussion with this group in terms of that.
One of the things that jumped out at me was we had our January Host Business Summit, and then next January Local Economy Summit, which I love the change of name. I think that's a great thing. And the budget's very different. So I wonder if that's, I'm assuming that's very purposeful, that we're thinking it's a different scale of event or a different type of event.
I think the local economy summit was a different.
Oh, different entirely.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
so the business summit, I think, was to engage with local businesses about local issues, whereas the local economy summit, you're right, it's confusing, was about learning more about local economy and local community economic development. So it was getting the local businesses to come and do more like an educational piece, and for us as well, to do an
Mhm.
educational piece, so like inviting speakers. It's sort of like the same idea of what we're trying to do with our meetings, but just making it more open to the public and like in one weekend kind of thing.
Okay.
That's what we had talked, it was before
Yeah.
you started, it was last year on the EDC,
Okay.
when we had talked about it.
Okay, so it's a whole different thing, and we might, in addition to that, do a business summit again, or whatever we want to call our business summit.
Is that
Okay.
a good idea though, to have two meetings like that in the
Yeah.
same month?
Well, probably not. I think because our business summit dinner was in October last time. So that's why we had said January, February for the local economy summit, but we could do it.
I
another
think we
time.
should flip them around.
Yeah.
Like, so still do the one that we do in January,
Yeah.
and then choose this for October.
Well, I was
Does that
gonna say,
make
just
sense?
from a planning point of view,
Yeah.
I think the January date was just very hard. Like, it was very challenging for invitations, for all that stuff, because of the Christmas break. It was like, when do you send it out and all of that stuff, so I found kind of that mid-end of January date difficult. I was gonna suggest us going back to something like October.
Oh, yeah.
If I have anything
We
to
could
do.
do the
Anyways,
local
it's
economy
bigger.
summit in like maybe late February, because one of the ideas we had was if we're inviting speakers and it's kind of big events, it's something to do in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Because that was one of our things that we were trying to, was like boost activity in the
Yeah.
winter, so.
It'd be nice to have one spring and fall or winter, and, you know, like both sides of the busy season. I think that would be a compliment.
Well, October might be good too if you're developing a plan for 2019, that if you held a summit, then some ideas came up that, you know.
It's also election time this year, so.
Oh, that could be interesting.
Right.
it's,
Right?
Well,
That could be interesting.
I just worry a little bit about trying to get out the same people for two separate summits.
I think if they're totally different times of year, I think it's nice to engage the local economy, the businesses twice a year.
I've
at
never had a
different
problem
times.
getting people out for these
Right.
things.
Yeah.
We've tried twice a year.
Well, especially when we offer dinner. And so I
Yes.
think
Yes.
in the other
That's it.
less expensive budget, we probably wouldn't be offering dinner.
Have you looked at the budget for the summer?
No, I was just
No,
looking
it's
at
not
the,
expensive.
well, the 5,000.
It was about half that,
Oh, was it?
Oh, really?
and we had a
Dinner.
good time.
Yeah, that's great.
So in the, yeah, I did have, well, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Well-
So for planning for,
So may I propose?
I did
sorry.
not have a huge problem with the January. I think it
Yeah.
felt crunchy
Yeah.
because there were some decisions that had been procrastinated, I think. But
Okay.
as far as the save the date got done, and then
Okay.
to be able to have crunch time in the last week, January is actually the perfect time to have that
Okay.
because all your Christmas stuff is over.
Sure.
Yeah.
There, you know, it was actually okay for me, not just sharing
Okay.
my
No,
experience.
no,
with
that's
that.
good then, yeah. So may I propose then we have an event in January and an event in late October? And we can decide which one's
Well,
which?
Yeah, but do we have the capacity to put on two events? That's the.
Well, I think if they're two
question.
different ones, you know, like if I get somebody to help me, I'm happy to do the business summit one similar to what Chris and I did. And then if you're taking the lead on the other one, and so as long as within the group, we can have a couple of teams. If it's the same two people, that might be a bit much, but.
And this one would be it wouldn't be an annual thing necessarily.
Oh, okay, it's a one-off.
Unless it was really successful and everyone loved it, then we could set it up. But I think it was more trying to get us moving towards the community, local economy, community stuff. And because, you know, not all of us had done any community development before, it was kind of like an educational piece for us, and then also involving the public education element.
Can I suggest that part of what we're doing in the first part of the year is trying to learn about community economic development. We don't really understand it in any great depth right now, at least I don't. So why don't we can leave this in here, it's not going to matter, but let's put off the deciding whether we're going to do this summit in the fall until we know a bit more about how we're going to approach community economic development, because that's going to shape what would we have in the summit and what's the purpose of it, and be less. I just feel like we're rushing into making a commitment to something which we don't really. I'm not sure what's the purpose at this point. Unless you can tell me what. Yeah, yes, ma'am.
What I'd suggest, because this plan accompanies a budget request, what I'd suggest is that you change local economy summit to simply to be confirmed in the work plan. So under.
Instead of January, just to be confirmed.
Just to be confirmed.
Yeah.
And that can evolve from the work that's being done from March onwards. Because otherwise you're moving into 2019 and making a budget request that's related to 2019. Whereas if you just take that January date out,
And leave the budget of.
leave the budget in place, yeah,
Yeah.
and make the ask.
So and are we making enough, are we requesting enough here for the budget?
Overall, I mean.
Well, it sounds as though we should adjust the business summit budget here to reflect something closer to reality.
I think so. I mean, it's nice if they're willing to give us a bit more. It's nice to have a buffer.
What was it? I haven't seen
$2,500.
the whole thing.
Yeah,
Are
they-
you renting it and
What's that?
advertising and everything, all your, wow, that's great.
Oh, it's not including my salary.
No.
But
No.
that, we didn't, because I don't want to pay for everyone's drinks. I don't
think that's okay.
I don't want you coming out to get sloshed.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
No, I think dinner is enough.
No.
so it was a delicious
Did you get
dinner.
feedback?
I did get feedback about that. I did get, last year we got a drink ticket each, and I said,
Oh.
well, this is this year, and then that person bought me a drink, so it was interesting. So it was a bit of a decision. I just did some numbers. One drink ticket each should be about $600. Is it worth it? So,
So
no,
if we brought that down to 3,500, that would be,
Yeah,
sounds like
that's
plenty,
good.
like
Well,
3,500.
I'm not going to say, before we start cutting our budget.
But, yeah.
I'm actually interested in, are we asking for enough, not cutting it
Well,
back?
I would like to
Don't
talk
spend
about,
the money.
Yeah,
There-
$11,000, which is still a considerable amount of
Well,
money.
we have an empty box too, right?
We have two
And-
empty.
well, in particular, I'm looking at the, but I'm looking at the engage local businesses aspect because I have this like really getting more clear vision about community economic development that says we need to go to local groups and financially collaborate with them on teaching them also about how they can move forward with community economic development. And I don't think it's too soon to put that in this budget because like I'm imagining that if there's a conference that it's related to agriculture and the agriculture group wants to figure out how they can get someone there or infuse their group with life, that'd be a perfect partnership where they could come to the Economic Development Committee, tell us what they're thinking about, we could offer them something to help support them to move to develop in that direction.
I love that.
Now, are you talking about like sort of mini economic loans or I mean, or?
No, that's not what I was thinking. I was thinking more of a grant where it's specific where a local group that maybe hasn't had an economic development focus,
Right.
like I think the Arts Council is quite organized, so maybe the Arts Council isn't who I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of other small groups,
Right.
like that either have small budgets or they're looking to fill what they perceive as a need in the community, but they're just not organized enough.
Yeah.
So-
I'm just trying to clarify that
Yeah.
that means that we would be granting different groups money.
That's an idea, and I don't know if
I
that's,
just think we'll have to be really careful if we go down that route.
is that right?
Well,
Okay.
it just there's a
Well,
whole
just,
process that's got to be in place
Maureen's-
for it.
Maureen, what do you think? Can we get this approved? Because that's the main thing.
I think you get this approved, but I don't think, I'm not sure it's the right way to go. Your question was, are we asking for enough money? This is an ask for $12,500 to $13,500 in total, which is significantly less than EDC has ever asked for.
Yeah.
I mean, we have never spent the EDC budget in the past, and there have been questions raised about that. But to go this far in this direction, I think would cause some concern on council, and they say, yeah, okay, that's all you're asking for.
Yeah, but I worry about asking, making a big change. Why don't we ask for what we've asked for before? If the council is happy to grant it. I mean,
Council will look at how much you've spent. So, I mean, I think there needs to be some downward adjustment, but I think this is too much. And I also think there are some activities here that actually need some money behind them. So I've got some suggestions, see how this works for you. With the Host the Business Summit, 4,000, just put 4,000 because next year you kind of want to establish like a ballpark, and maybe this year was super cheap.
Yeah.
The community profile, 2,000 is fine. The speakers, 2,000 is fine. with the engaging local businesses, I'd like to see $2,000 done for that. You know, so that we have the money if we need to have breakfast meetings, if we need to take some local business owners somewhere to see how things are done elsewhere. Just a bit of cash for that period. And then the development plan, I think it would be better to say outright, develop a community economic development plan. And allocate $2,500 to that. You may need a writer, you may need some research to be done, and we don't have a lot of capacity around this table right now. So being able to contract somebody to do some of that work, I think would be helpful.
And maybe make that a bit more than.
I was gonna
make
say
that
more.
3,000.
Make it 5,000 for the,
When the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I would definitely increase the amount if we're going to do a community economic development plan. I didn't realize that was our work plan, but, so, yeah.
Okay,
definitely.
then make it 4.
Yeah.
And then the local economy summit 4, again. The other thing I wondered about, and this is following up on Rod's point, we have these little innovation grants that we give out from the Snug Cove Improvements Working Group. And they're matching grants, and they're up to $500. And they're primarily focused on beautification. So
Right.
stuff like the gateway and putting pretty flowers in certain places, doing a paint job, you know, if you're a business that doesn't have a lot of money, or if you're an individual who has a nonprofit behind you, so on. Anyway, those have been really successful. We're going into the 3rd year of doing those. I'm wondering if having community economic development innovation grants might be a cool
Yeah.
idea.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
and
Always love that
for
idea.
the agriculture too, I think would be good.
I mean, it could be broad enough. So, I mean, what it would do is it would help raise awareness on the part of the community of what's this community economic development thing?
Mhm.
And then if there's money associated with it, they will learn what community economic development is. They'll learn how they need to frame their requests, the kinds of requests that make sense.
So you're calling the community economic development education grants?
I said innovation grants.
Innov-
We probably want to get another name
Yeah.
for it because it'll otherwise be confusing
Yeah.
with the Snug Cove. But using some of that money, you know, in a grant program that's business related is something I don't think Bowen's ever done.
We have talked about it before. I think it's-
And how much would you put in that for about 5,000 on
If you put 5,000 in there, you're getting pretty close to the top of what we've asked for before.
that? Yeah.
How much is in the innovation grants? What's
5.
5,000?
Yeah. We've never spent it all, we've come close.
I think it's perfect timing for it too, because we are doing all this educational work, and then the organizations, businesses will probably, well, hopefully they'll be inspired to do something, and then
Yeah.
if they also have a little boost
They
of
feel
some finances that they can key into, that makes sense.
Yeah, and then we can go around, when we start to take our learning to the businesses, we can say, look, hey, there's this sum of money, you could,
And
if you
we'll
can
help
think
you
of something,
with it.
we'll help you.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
excellent plan.
Okay, so that
Great
comes,
idea.
sorry, Michelle.
I was just gonna say, the other thing too is, as we learn more about CED and we have these invited speakers coming out, we'll have more ideas about this little innovation grants and stuff like that. So is it possible to put in the budget request something like CED projects budget or something, so that we can earmark some money for putting towards things that we haven't conceived of yet? Does that make sense?
Well,
I think there's enough give in this.
Well, yeah, so
That would be
what we're
covered.
talking about is splitting this, so we've had engaged local businesses and organizations regarding opportunities of collaboration. And now we're saying, okay, grants, 5,000, but we're not taking the engaged local business and giving it anything.
Yeah.
So we sort of have to, is that what you're saying, like we have to consider both of those things?
Well, I'm just thinking like there's all kinds of different initiatives that other communities use that
Mhm.
are maybe not grants and maybe not sitting down to talk to businesses.
Right,
So there could be things that we come up with over the next few months as we're
Mhm.
learning that we could potentially roll out within this budget timeframe.
well, there's some flexibility in here, I think.
Yeah.
And,
It's got a good buffer.
I think for, we have never spent our full allocation, so that this is, we do have some still in the
That
kitty.
won't, that won't roll over.
I won't.
Oh, gosh, no. We'd be rich by now. We could buy a house.
It doesn't all from the one
No.
year. Okay, well, let's try and spend it this year. So just to recap what we've, sorry, Rick.
Well, I wanted to ask about one other thing. Last year, Steph sent out a number of notices of provincial economic development committee things going on, and there was never any discussion about anybody attending. But some of them I would have liked to, but I don't know. Is that something we either might want to budget, especially given that we might be shifting to a community economic development, or is it something in the past that?
I think it's a good idea.
So that's the education and courses budget is $5,000 from the last, this has been 2 or 3 years, a standing budget. That was, my hand was up to say that. Michelle went to this course last year, benefited from it.
Super useful.
Jackie and I have gone to conferences.
Gordon and Sheena went. It's a very good idea to support.
Okay, so.
But
okay,
it does need to be 5,000.
So well, I don't want to be, so we're up to 23 before that.
Yeah,
And I think maybe, how much do you think we should put in for that? 3,000?
2,000?
it actually gets up there pretty darn quickly once you start attending these conferences.
And then I think if we have a strong, we've got a really specific list, the council and would maybe see
They'd have more
that we're
confidence.
energized
Yeah.
and,
I don't think we should go over 23. I don't think we should go over the past ask. So what that would suggest to me is we start teasing some of these numbers back a
the
bit.
past tax was 25.
It was
Right.
25?
25. So if
It was?
2,000 would make this 25.
Okay.
But how strict is it that, you know, if we have 2,000 for speakers and then we spend, is it okay to take some of that and put it into courses or whatever?
Yeah, as
Yes.
long as you're not doing grossly $10,000 for
So
the
called
entire committee to go
Well,
to a
let's-
conference.
professional
You know why?
development, then we'll call it? Is that professional development?
Yes,
the
or
word?
Well, education courses is good.
Okay.
So if we make education courses 2,000, that brings us to 25,000.
Yeah.
So that's more than last year, and
No,
we
it's
did.
the
No,
same.
Steph
Oh,
was
it's
saying
the
the
same.
same.
Okay, and what did we spend last year though? Because